Yeah, I gotta admit, last session was a little bit strange. It's rare that the party ever splits up 4-1. It's usually like 3 go this way, 2 go that way. But now I've got this 4-1 party split where somebody has gone off to the capital city of Roshana in Wildmont to. Yeah, I had some fun. I had some fun writing this stuff up. It took some creativity.
Oh, yeah.
But where we last left off, the team, after battling with the rock, and then going off.
What he was cooking.
What's that?
I smelled what he was cooking.
After.
Sorry, I had to.
After deciding to continue to fight the Rock, otherwise known as the Archfey Archon, was putting everything at risk, the team decided to go separate ways. While Karina went off in one direction and discovered a celestial ruin that had hereditary links to this creature, Divini, whatever this first of Azamir are, while Professor Jalbatros, Forn, Melody, and Eritreal headed off towards, what was the name of that city?
Heartmore Hamlet.
Heartmore Hamlet.
There it is. It is in my notes. To the Heartmore Hamlet. Once here at the Heartmore Hamlet, however, the team had to avoid being spotted by the Rock or potentially be banned from the Heartmore Hamlet. But they did discover the ruin, and after solving the challenges of activating the gate was then activated, and Professor Jalbatros gave his husband a quick slap on the back, said, "See you later," shoving him into the gate and sending him back home to take care of their eggs. Karina then informed the team that there was a interesting place that they should take a look at, and that's when they came back to the ruined celestial temple that was dedicated to Divini, an ancient ruin that seems to be very particularly out of place, quite old, and finding the sarcophagus and finding an opportunity to realize that there is something very interesting about this place. But more and more, we're beginning to wonder just how good or bad Divini might be. Their demeanor and their obsessions seem to speak to other possible, more nefarious circumstance. But with the team, because you guys are still at the temple, right? With the team still at, you guys are still at the temple. Karina had made her way back to Jrusar, made her way to the teleportation tower within the Chandei Quorum, and managed to secure passage to Roshana, the capital city of the Bright Queen in Wildmont, and to hopefully convince them to allow her to talk to Regina Halfcloak, or Regina Greencloak. And who knows what Karina is up to.
She's swimming in the stream, I thought.
Well, yeah, according to her, yes, everybody. So with that, the 4 of you are still in the temple. As far as you know, Karina is
I got my ass handed to me by the temple when I come.
Yes.
Also, Karina's notebook has been left on the altar, so it is still there.
Proving that she was here.
And I
Yeah.
spent a lot of time in the first half of that campaign setting up that there are a lot of secrets in there and that she always conspiratoriously writes there. I was really hoping somebody would steal it, find out information. That never happened, but it's not too late.
All right.
I just had to figure out how to not be dead for a minute and touch the temple again.
Valid.
I can do a healing word on you if Treo hasn't already done something.
Yeah, let me get you boosted back up, sir.
Just, I think last time that failed. So,
Because how much? I think you're right. I think you're right.
I'm at half my HP.
All right, let's do cure wounds at a 3rd level. So I got to beat an 11, correct?
13.
13.
Yeah.
All right, that's a 22.
That helps.
You're good.
I feel better.
So cure wounds 68 plus 9.
You sound like the heaviest dice ever. I don't know why.
It's 31 points back to you.
Oh
Nice.
yeah, that feels real good. Oh, I can move my shoulder now. I don't like the way that felt when I touched the temple.
I would be concerned considering lately when I've touched things that seem to have some sort of power, it really goes south very quickly.
This felt like it was all in my head. But I was just trying to identify it. I was trying to tell what it was, what it is.
Did you get anything?
No, besides that, blood coming out my ears and everything.
And because we didn't get the full story from Karina.
She did tell us it was a temple of Divini, and I think she said that she had seen Divini here.
But we didn't get details of like
What she saw.
this temple, like what this temple was exactly.
Yeah,
We
only
don't-
Karina. Yeah, only Karina knows the true or the detailed story because of the vision that she had. But she was limited in her sending, so she could only communicate up to 25 words related to the site.
If I want to try to perceive where potentially Divini's essence could be hidden here, would I make a religion check, a perception check?
I would say religion, perception, or insight would all garner you opportunities.
I'll do insight to kind of get an idea of where Divini might be residing within this area.
Okay.
That's a dirty 20.
Nice.
20. This temple seems to be constructed as a means of honoring the first of Azamir. The 9 columns representing 9 different versions of Azamir. The empty space in the middle where the notebook sits in the offering area of that empty space. There's a feeling that something is missing, that something used to be here. Because offerings are made to things of importance, and that feels like the one thing that's missing here is that there's no altar, there's no entombment, there's no place that you could put offerings here for the purposes of making an offering. Why Karina decided to put her notebook on the ground in the middle of the chamber, she never really explained. It was never really brought up. She left it there. The 9 different columns made of Azamir statues all seem to point in the middle of the chamber, the open air chamber, almost kind of like a observatory, of course. The arching ceiling above, kind of a dome, a traditional dome. There's definitely something about this dome. There's something about the position of the statues. but overall, it's the lack of something being in the middle of the chamber that seems so obvious.
Can I
Go ahead, Warren.
Can I roll either perception or investigation to see, because I've seen the cylinder thing that that Archon had in his nest. I think we brought that with us, right?
Yeah,
I'm looking
have
for
it.
if that thing looks like it came from here, if it belonged here somewhere. Because it was a piece of something. It was a piece of a temple.
As you look,
So-
or you don't even need to roll for that one, because as you look around, I'll say your passive insight kicks in, because as you're looking around, you can see there's 8 other cylinders here, but they are either cracked on their sides, askew around the perimeter of the chamber, almost like maybe they either fell from something or were discarded or kind of interacted with in a way. And you notice that there's 8 of them here, meaning that you feel like you have the 9th one. There happens to be 9 statues, 8 broken cylinders, and then, of course, the 9th cylinder that you guys have, which is, for all intents and purposes, mostly intact. Surface cracks, aging, and wearing. But all the other cylinders are either broken open, in pieces, in chunks. The 9th one that you seem to have appears to be intact.
Hey, Eritrea, did you we got that weird thing from the Rock's nest, right? From Archon's nest, right?
Yeah, the what was that?
The big
cylinder?
stone thing. Yeah. Come here, and I'll put my arm right, and I start pointing out the other 8 that are around. There's one missing. We may have that one. I can probably get these other 8 put back together. I've got a little bit of handy talents. So I can get my unseen servant out with me, and I think working on those, we could rebuild those. If you think this is something that might be right to do.
I think it feels like destiny that we've landed upon this cylinder, this spot. I think it would be. I don't know what's ahead, but it feels like something that's important.
Right on. So hit like foreign, like say no more. Foreign grabs the tome of crafting, because I can at will cast the unseen servant out of the tome to help me with stuff like this. And I'm gonna just essentially be mending these other 8 back together while somebody else is getting the 9th one out.
Okay.
I'm gonna delicately. He's gonna walk up and with the back of his hand, kind of tap at the stone and make sure I'm not getting, assaulted by psychic forces again. But
so you're gonna try to remake the ones that are broken?
because they're broken, and where they've broken off of the pillars, trying to put them back together and put them back on the pillar, with mending. If I've got the pieces, I can mend them together with the cantrip.
Right.
So the point being mending all the pieces back together and then mending it back onto the pillar, statue pillar.
We will say that you experiment with mending the first one.
Okay.
And as you use the mend ability to put the different cracks together, to kind of put the cylindrical stone object back into a sense of permanence, there is celestial writing that is legible on the cylinder. Which is strange, because the one that you guys have is hieroglyphic and pictographic. It doesn't really show traditional celestial writing. This one, as you put it back together, it does.
Hey, I think there's some writing on this thing. One of y'all come and read this, or I think it's writing. I've seen something like it before.
Yes, I might be able to interpret that.
There's
Is it in common? I can read common.
No, I could read that one too.
I feel like Melody is rolling her hair and like going, I can read common. It's in common. She's like doing her nails with prestidigitation.
I think I'm reading Karina's journal. I'm like,
Oh yes, I love it. I love it. That makes sense. Yeah. You go over, you pick up Karina's journal and you start thumbing through it to see what it says. Is it a conspiracy manual or just lots of puns and riddles? And
you said there was some fan fiction in there, right?
yeah, I think so.
On the journal of yes, of fan fiction
All the hot
about
goss
Queen of
about it.
Time meeting a beautiful elf prince and getting married and the babies they have.
Melody is entranced. Then Melody's like, and then what? And then what happened next?
I love it.
Her heart and soul.
This is like our version of the lusty Argonian maid, is what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what that is, but yes.
Just an Elder Scrolls reference, you know.
Eritrea, as you're watching Ford repair this cylinder, the first thing you notice is a picture of two angelic hands coming together in a V formation. Celestial meaning, that means silver cradle, or a reference to birth is what it means. Written along the base of the cylinder, from light was born to guide the lost.
All right, Born.
Yep.
Silver. There's appears to be a silver cradle on here, and it reads, "From light was born to guide the lost." Would I have any, idea of what exact? Would I have any reference point to what a phrase like that would mean? Do I have anything from my past that would help me understand that, or just my innate connection to the divine?
It feels religious.
Yeah.
It feels almost parable-like. It feels like you're being told a story, but it's not really linked to anything of personal memory.
I feel like there's some cultists in this middle of the desert area that talk about had a baby and there was some big star in the sky and some wise people came over and he's supposed to be some light to help them. Maybe it's something to do with that.
All right, you earned a D6 inspiration, but don't ever do that again.
It's just Ford pulling that random stuff out of his memory, right?
Well, I think if we start forward, if you're able to put together the rest of these pieces, we might be able to get a whole picture.
Sure. I'll try and seal it back up on the statue where it was broken off, or where it used to sit or whatever. I put it back up there, and then I'll move on to the next one.
Okay. As you put the second one together, the hands are in a familiar shape that Eritrea recognizes. The Forgotten Lullaby is the position of the hands. There is a lyric written on the cylinder: "Wrapped in dawn's fire, walk unseen among the mortals." And the lyrics seem to reference a child, within the idea that this feels like something that's supposed to be sung.
I relay this all to my compatriot. Well, to Ford, because I know Melody's busy painting her nails
And reading the journal.
and reading the journal.
I will say, Melody, I think Melody is a little resigned to the fact that we're just planning to tingle with Davini, because otherwise, why would we be here? So she's just trailing you guys around with her head in the book, but she's within 10 feet of you guys for saving throws.
Let my faith keep you protected.
Yeah.
I feel like Professor is regretting his decision. Like he's He's over sulking, you know.
Like, I could have gone home.
He tracked down Giancarlo, and now he's gonna eat shit when he has to finally go back home, and Giancarlo's there.
You reforge the second cylinder, placing it into the place that is held within the statue.
Yep. And then off to the third.
The third one references a place called the Radiant Scar. And instead of celestial words, as you reassemble the cylinder, it is a map of an area.
We might.
Does the area seem familiar at all?
Give me your survival check as you examine the etched-in map on the cylinder.
I'll try that as
23.
well.
23.
I don't need to
I'm
try
rolling
it. Yeah,
good tonight. Keep
you
it up.
got it. You good? Yeah, that was a 7.
Rolling hot for Eritrea's story arc.
I know, right? It actually resembles the portion of the Hellcatch Valley. Obviously not the traditional landmarks of the Hellcatch Valley, but it seems to represent the mid area of the Hellcatch Valley. And there's a kind of reference to a crater on the mapping as well.
It's the hole.
At the bottom of the sea.
No, the thing that I forget the name of, that is the place where all the ships come refuel in the Hellcatch Valley.
Dead Man's. I thought that
Dead
was a
Man's
mesa.
Crater?
I thought it was a mesa, though. Yeah,
Dead Man's Crater,
Well,
yeah.
Wonder if we'll have to pay a troll toll to get into that hole.
Trolls don't keep that hole. Well, I'm just gonna have to hand out the D6s like candy. That was definitely worth D6s of inspiration. Yeah,
We're on a roll
like
tonight.
that.
We're on a roll.
Well, good one, Dad.
The dad jokes commence.
Look, the goblins are bugging me tonight, man. It's just it's coming to me naturally.
You guys watch as that cylinder
back
gets
up,
put back
yeah.
together and placed back in the statue as well. The fourth one gets put together, and it's a simple emblem of a tear. It appears to be the only thing on the cylinder. A simple like reference to a tear, but in like pictograph form.
Do you have any idea what that would stand for?
Well, you've got the silver cradle, the forgotten lullaby, the radiant scar, and now this image of a tear. Give me a religion check, if you would, please, Eritreo.
All right, there goes my luck. That is a 12.
A 12? That's not bad.
Yeah, I know, but I rolled a 5.
At the very basic, you get the feeling that this is part of a ceremony, part of a religious ritual to probably combine these cylinders into some kind of affect, and then you get the feeling it probably reveals something or will give revelation to something. This is becoming a little bit more resident of a holy place or holy temple, and this, is all part of a ceremony that would reveal something within the temple itself.
Cool.
You good?
Yep.
All right.
Keep
Set that
rolling.
one up. Off to the 5th.
As you reassemble the 5th cylinder, there are 3 references on this cylinder, all evenly spaced from each other. And it's the celestial imagery for the name unspoken, is what the imagery means. One name is the Dawnborn, another name is the Beacon, and then the other name is the Godsworn, written on the cylinder in equal spacing from each other. And then below that in celestial writing, it is something about a mortal name but was erased by divine decree. You then put that cylinder in its place. The sixth cylinder, as you begin to reassemble it and put it together, it is... since Foreign and Eritrea are working on it, give me a medicine check, Foreign and Eritrea.
That is a 23.
Nice.
11.
11. Eritrea, you recognize it as a genealogy chart. And it is carved all into the cylinder, and it seems to be linking all of these celestial genealogies to one single genealogy. And written underneath this chart, blood of the first walks hidden, guard them well.
Weird looking tree. Put it back up.
The seventh one that you reassemble, there is no writing, no nothing on it. It is simply a starburst carved into the surface of the cylinder. Eritrea will recognize it as what's referred to as a celestial brand.
Okay.
The eighth one, the final one that's broken, as opposed to the ninth one, which is illegible to you. The eighth one seems to have a series of celestial words branded on the outside of the cylinder, which to Eritrea would read as the following. When shadow swallows heaven's fire, the chosen shall rise again, reborn of their own blood. And with that one repaired and all 8 kind of restored, the 9th statue, the only one left without one of the cylinders associated to it, seems like it might be connected to the cylinder you have, but it's interesting. The other 8 statues seem to be images of Azamir that are in various states of grace. This 9th one is very different because this one seems to be holding a shield and uplifting its hand towards the top of the chamber. Its hand is empty, and there's a missing space where the cylinder would go.
Hey, I think that's where we need to be putting that cylinder. So
Yeah, I'm gonna fly up there because it is. I would have to kind of fly up there to get all the way up to it. Or is
Well, the hand is up and above you and outreaching into the air, but all the cylinders seem to fit at the base of each of the statues, like it was placed at the base of the statues. So you can see where the arc or the opening is at the base of the statue. That looks like that's where the cylinder goes. This, rather than being a symbol of an Azamir in reverence or in grace, this Azamir appears to be dressed for war. They're wearing armor, they have a shield on their one arm, and an empty hand that looks like it should be holding on to something, like pointed upwards.
let's. I want to pop this cylinder in where it's supposed to go.
You
I'm
kind
gonna
of
make sure that whatever would be in the hand, I'm not standing under it.
That's fair. That's
Like-
fair. You pop
beacon
in the
from heaven.
final. You pop in that final
Yep.
cylinder, and you begin to hear a kind of stone on stone grinding noise as each of the stoned reverent Azamir turn towards the one clad in battle, and they all kind of lock into place. And that's when you notice that the stone arm and hand inverts down and the hand comes down in almost like a position of expecting it to be handed something. Its palm now open, its hand outstretched, as if expecting for something to be put in the hand of the statue.
You think this is where she was supposed to put the journal?
No.
I'm putting the heart in there. The
Are
stone
you
heart.
sure? You sure it's not the journal? Should we put the journal there? This is the place for the offering.
I'm gonna put it there. Let's
You
do
watch as Eritrea takes out the stone heart and then sets it in the hand.
it.
Karina, you've been waiting in the tower now. Karina, you've been waiting in the tower now for about 10 minutes. The elven drow keeper known as Marrow has been gone for about that equal amount of time. Before long, he returns with what appears to be a very kind of young, slightly built elven woman who is wearing the obvious signs of someone who's a page or a courtesan of court. And she stands in front of you. You are Karina, are you not?
Correct.
You have come here for something. What do you require?
I show her the signet of Jamansa Org, saying that I need to speak with the Bright Queen.
Her eyes go wide. Very well. Follow me. She then leads you out into the open spaces of the beginning of a series of stone stairs that go down into what can only be called the most interesting city you've ever experienced. It's in perpetual dusk. There's never any ability for the sun to pierce through the smoke and ash that seems to surround this city 24/7. The city itself is built into a massive edge of a crater that is said to be many thousand miles in diameter. Some people believe that this is where, during the time of divergence, a strike during the period of time of the clash of the Titans and the fighting of the gods, that this particular area of Wildmont was struck the heaviest and therefore blasted this region to the point of volcanic ruin. It's a very difficult environment for anyone to exist or live in. And as she guides you through the crowded streets and walkways and paved ways, leaning towers and stone block buildings and structures, there are very few humans here. There are orcs and goblins and hobgoblins. There are drow wearing the dark, heavy glasses. Even though it's always perpetual dusk, even they still need that bit of protection from what little light can kind of eke through everything. There are ogres, and there are all sorts of goblinoids that seem to be very ever-present here, side by side with many variations of drow and other drow folk and other folk that seem to kind of fit into this environment with a bit of natural expectation. The young woman leads you through this crowd until you see this giant purple and black spire looming up ahead and over. May I ask, does Jamansa Ord fare well these days? We've heard so much about what has happened to her.
They are doing well. Nobody is immune to the troubles of the world, but since they've come to power, they had been able to make some very hopeful changes to the region.
That is good. It's been so long since they have graced our halls. Glad to hear that they do well. She leads you up this spiraling set of stairs up to now what would be one of three massive spires. The center spire seems to be inundated with courtesans and people waiting to take court. You notice the young lady stop for a moment. She closes her eyes as if secretly speaking to someone inside of her mind. The queen has asked me to bring you to her eastern chamber, where she is preparing to receive court. Please, follow me. She then begins to lead you up a series of stairs that circle up, and now you can kind of see all of Rasha kind of like spread out below you in this vast crater network of just a very different way that people are living within this environment. While you get the feeling of a very tough environment, you get the feeling that this place probably makes the people who they are. And for the first time, as you ascend the top of the stairs, there are two drow elves flanking either side of a doorway entrance. And these drow look scary. They are dressed in all kind of like black chain armor. It's their weaponry that catches your eye, a little bit of familiarity to their weaponry, as the blades that they carry are made of green glass. The spears that they hold up against their bodies, the tips made of green glass as well. You recognize these as members of the glass blades, the personal bodyguard of the Bright Queen. She speaks quickly to the two guards, who then open the door and allow you to enter the chamber. You can see an elven woman near the very edge of the chamber, sitting at a desk wearing very simple silver, purple, and black robes around her body. You could see exquisite armor hanging on like a device designed to hold that armor in place. You can see a crown hanging on top of it. You can see a staff, a sword, and other implements here kind of in various degrees of being kind of placed in places on purpose. This is almost like a chamber that maybe she gets prepared for whatever she does throughout the day.
I bow deeply.
The young lady that leads you in puts an arm or puts a hand on your arm. Just a moment. Can I see the writ from Jamansa Ord, please?
I offer it to her.
She takes it, walks up to the queen, places it on the desk in front of the queen. She then reaches out, picks it up, breaks the seal, and begins to read the writ. She stands up to her full 7 feet of height, and she turns to look at you. Her long white hair, her kind of gray and silvery skin, but as you look at her, the rumors could only be possibly true. While some believe that the Bright Queen is maybe 2.5 millennia old, there's something about those eyes that tell you that she is much older than most people can possibly understand. And that's when you get a bit of a cold chill up your spine. This is not one of those people that you can so easily deceive. You can already feel the tendrils of detect thought kind of boiling over the surface of your mind.
I do have my mind shield ring. Though I don't know what it does against somebody like her.
Yeah. There's an eyebrow on her that arches up as she recognizes the fact that she cannot detect your thoughts. As she gets a very cautious smile, and she walks over. Well, Karina, it would seem that you know important people, therefore you must have important grievances to contend with. You have come a long way, and you spent a lot of your credit to get here. I know Jamon Sa'od very well. They would not be so egregious to waste my time with someone that they themselves didn't feel had some level of importance to discuss.
I come asking access to one of your prisoners with an offer of information that might be beneficial to you as well.
Ah, you've come here to speak to Regina Half Greencloak, haven't you?
Yes.
You guys worked very hard to secure her. I find it interesting that only you came along to ask this question. Why has my agent Fawn not come with you?
We had gotten into a disagreement.
Easy enough to do. He can be an asshole, but a trusted asshole.
He became untrusting of my nature as a changeling and as a warlock, and my priority to restore the Fae. I am here to disprove that to you and hopefully to him in time.
You wish to restore the Fae. How does one exactly go about restoring an entire plane of existence?
We have information that the Iron Collective has a plan to do so. I am concerned that their plan to do so would ultimately be as means to depose you and bring upon chaos to the human world. I believe talking to Regina Greencloak and the method that I have prepared for today would allow us to act before them.
She gets a very kind of dark scowl on her face and she looks away. Yes, the Iron Collective. We have had 2 run-ins with this particular group. I do not like what they stand for and what they do. There are many ways to blame others for the outcome of what transpired. Some of us, we know more truth than we know lies. Where do you stand on the side of Fae existence?
Ultimately, I stand on the side of a balance that needs to be struck between Fae, human, and Shadowfell. I am a warlock of the Raven Queen and a family member of humans, and by blood, I am Fae. Therefore, I see value in all 3.
Stepping out of the darkened corner of the chamber, a very tall, thin, good-looking drow elf comes walking towards the Bright Queen, whispers into her ear. The Bright Queen then looks over at you. And just exactly how do you intend to break the will of Regina? I have had some of my best people working at this.
My plan is of 2 prongs. The first one, and I offer the fill of love, which is the love potion, would be to administer this potion to her. The second one would be once her guard has been made weaker, I plan to use planner binding, forcing her to assist us to the best of her ability for 24 hours and be under my control for that duration of time.
My trusted advisor, Essek, tells me that he has concerns with allowing a changeling to speak with another changeling.
That is when the trap I have set for the changeling that has run amongst your ranks comes in. I would ask you to pick 2 of your trusted assassins and 4 random guards to be in the room with me. The 2 trusted assassins would be there to monitor me, and the 4 random guards would give an opportunity to the spy amongst the ranks to try and infiltrate the situation. If I manage to get close to key information and they try to kill me, you will have knowledge of the other changeling in your court.
Essek turns to look at you. Well, aren't you clever? You seem to have thought all of this out before arriving here. I was wondering, what is your real reason for coming? Neither myself nor my queen can penetrate your thoughts, and only a person of suspicious intent would bring such a device into the light of the Bright Queen.
I would gladly step into a zone of truth and repeat everything I have said. I will not remove the ring, for the location of a loved one is hidden in my mind, and I would be concerned for their well-being, lest I remove it and somebody manages to infiltrate my mind.
Essek looks over at the Bright Queen. The Bright Queen raises eyebrows. I imagine you are speaking about Karina Prime.
You are correct.
And she is safe.
Yes.
And you're certain that she is safe.
Within my ability and within all that I hold dear and all that I work towards, I have done everything within my power and beyond to maintain her safety at this time.
Essek and the Bright Queen exchange conversation briefly. Very well. Essek will take you to her in the prison cell. Essek will stand there and watch you administer whatever it is you intend to do. No further trust is needed. To cross Essek is to cross me personally. If what you need is there and you find it, I would expect you to share it with all those that would benefit from such information. Is this agreeable to you?
Absolutely. And I bow again.
Essek just gives you that sly, lopsided smile, kind of guides you through another chamber door and out into a series of hallways and walkways that are kind of almost like a blur around you as you move through the space. But
actually, sorry, I forgot to ask her if she has any tools to assist me with my spell casting to save on time.
She assures you that Essek is the only tool that you'll need.
Oh, cool. Sorry.
Essek now guides you down the many different hallways, many different stairwells, and you feel this gradual kind of confusion of location, but you do feel yourself getting lower and more descendant down in to wherever this place is that you are. The walls begin to get a little bit chillier, a little bit humidity, some moisture forming on these walls as you descend down and down. Essek finally breaks the silence. You're very clever for a changeling. I must say, I was surprised to hear about Karina Prime. I had hoped always to get an opportunity to meet her. For the Bright Queen is convinced that Karina Prime is better left to be alone than interfered with. I'm not sure if I agree with that sentiment. And where do you stand, Karina, in the war of the changelings versus everybody else? Are you not an outsider looking in at your own kind?
I have never considered myself a changeling in any form but blood. I do not care for them or for their agendas.
Well, King's Fall is just rife with your people. It would seem that seems to be the place that they chose to make their stand. I don't know why they've agreed to settle up with the Iron Collective. There is not much value in a hopeless fight. Blaming everybody else for something that could not be helped under any circumstance.
Can I do a quick insight check on this person to see if I'm getting any kind of not great vibes from them right now?
Sure, give me an insight check.
Never mind, let's pretend I didn't.
This
Yep,
feels
too
like
fun.
a person who is the master of the court, and they are virtually impossible to read.
Perfect, so I don't feel bad about my natural one.
Fair enough. Being taken further down the echoed hallways. I would imagine that you would fare better with your own kind than wasting your time out here amongst the rest of us.
Changelings are maggots. I have no interest in ranking amongst them.
He stops leading you down, turns around, and looks at you. Curious. Curious and more curious. Well, we're almost there. Cannot wait to see what happens when I get the two of you together. Regina is a work of art. Her resiliency and her resistance, even under the effects of Geese, has been rather impressive. The physical and mental tortures of the chamber have done their due diligence on her, but she continues to hold out against all forms of extreme measures. Perhaps you could think of one that's a bit more extreme than what we've thought of.
If all else fails, I will find another way. I assure him with like a very evil look. Also, it might be better if we can keep her unaware. The spellcasting takes about an hour. I would like to administer the potion about 5 minutes before. And I would like to not have her know that I'm coming in advance. So I would need an hour out of her sight to start working on the spell.
I shall take you to the waiting chamber where you can begin your ceremony. He guides you down another tall, deep staircase that now just goes and goes and goes until you're in this round chamber with stairs leading to different doors. One of the stairs leads down and into what appears to be what could be the entrance of a prison chamber. You can hear the sound of people. You can hear the sound of metal and air and that stale smell of sweat. Well, use your hour to prepare yourself. I could be as equally patient.
I take him and get started on casting Planetary Bind.
Okay. He watches you go through the hour-long ceremony. You get the feeling he realizes what you're doing, and the look on his face is a face of respect. Admiration of someone who knows their craft.
So, at the 5th level, which is what I'm planning to do, it binds celestial, elemental, or fey or fiend to your service. The creature must be within range for the entire casting of the spell. Typically, the creature is first summoned into the center version of the magic circle spell to trap them, while with this, she's in prison, so that's kind of easy.
Yep.
Completion of the casting, the target must succeed on a charisma saving throw or be bound to serve you for the duration. If the creature was summoned or created by another spell, the spell's duration is extended. A bound creature must follow your commands to the best of its ability. You might command the creature to accompany you on an adventure, to guard a location, or to deliver a message. If the creature is hostile, it strives to twist your commands to achieve its own objectives. If the creature carries out your commands completely before the spell ends, it travels to you to report after the fact. And it is a 16 charisma, but I'm hoping that with the love potion or philster of love, which is The next time you see the creature within 10 minutes after drinking the filter, you become charmed by that creature for 1 hour. If the creature is of a species and gender you are normally attracted to, you regard it as your true love while you are charmed. This potion's rose-hued effervescent liquid contains one easy-to-miss bubble shaped like a heart.
Essek looks at you at the completion or the near completion of the spell. How do we get her to drink your potion that you've brought? Is the intent for her to drink it, and then she will fall madly in love with you, and therefore be more inclined to do your bidding?
Correct.
If you'd like, I could give it to her.
I trust that you will do whatever needs to be done to get her to drink this.
He leans over and takes it from you. You watch as he casts Minor Illusion on the bottle and turns it into a beat-up, old kind of iron canteen with a little bit of fresh water spilling out of it. She has not had water for a very long time. Give me a moment. You hear the clanking of a door. You hear the slamming of a door. You hear muffled back and forth conversations between two people. The empty-handed Essek comes back. Let's just say she was quite thirsty.
Very well. Am I done with the preparation of the spell?
It would seem so.
I will enter the room and I will cast it as soon as she sees me.
As you enter the room with Essek close behind, there's a brief moment that she gets a look of recognition on her face, but then it immediately becomes very doughy-eyed and glazed. You feel her will fail, and you feel the effect of the spell overwhelm her. And she is now staring at you. She gets to her feet, the chains rattling on her wrists and ankles as she tries to embrace the most important person in her life.
Oh. Hi, Regina.
What took you so long to find me? Why? You've come to get me out, right? We're getting out of here, right?
Of course, but first, you have to answer a couple of my questions. You want to do that, right?
She kind of backs away from you, a little bit suspicious, but sits down on the ground and she hugs her knees up to her chin. If that's all it takes to finally get out of here, I would do anything for you. Anything.
Wonderful. First, please show me your true form.
You watch as she shifts and melds away into a very kind of neutral-looking kind of changeling form. Barely enough femininity to prove she's a female changeling. She's a translucent blue skin with yellow eyes, a tight scowling mouth, sharp angular features, but realizing she's in a true changeling form, she looks back at you and smiles.
Thank you. I just want to make sure I am 100% sure this is Regina Greencloak, or the person that we have handed in.
She then smiles, and I'm always me. You should know that. We've been friends our whole lives.
When did we first become friends?
I don't know. I just feel like we are.
Interesting. Have you had any other friends here at the prison while I was away?
No, they keep trying to ask me questions. She gives a very kind of like disgruntled look over at Essek. They're not good people here. They're not good like you. And obviously you're here because you're getting me out, right? I mean, that's what friends and lovers do for each other. They get them out of tight spots and difficult places. It's what we do.
Of course. I'm here for you. But first, you have to help me, otherwise I can't get you out of here. And I need your help.
What can I do? What can I help you with?
Will you please tell me where is the hidden Archfey that you have spoken to?
She looks around the room. She looks at Essex. She looks at you. She kind of gets this weird, painful look on her face. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Have you ever spoken to an Archfey before?
Yes, I have, but I don't know why that's important now. I mean, getting me out of here should just be...
This is the only way I can get you out. You want to help me get you out, right?
Yes?
Good. Trust me, it's going to be okay, but you have to tell me right now. You have spoken to an Archfey. Green is the crow now, what? Sorry.
What's the crow's name?
Oh, evil. Yeah, I've always been. Anyway. When was the last time you spoke to an Archfey?
She looks up at you and begins to smile as she starts to tell you the story of how she met Artagnan.
Oh, sorry, can you remind me? Artagnan is... yes.
That's Bragsworth.
Yeah.
Back,
Artagnan.
back at the ruins, you guys watch as Aerotreo places the heart into the hand of the statue. The statue closes its fingers around the stone heart. An open plate of stone drops away in the middle of the chest. The heart is then put into the empty space in the chest of the statue. And then, seemingly out of nowhere, a sword has now appeared at the base of the statue.
Hmm.
Is this a sword of reasonable size that I could wield?
Hard to tell. I mean, it looks like a long sword, but it's so expertly crafted and so well made, it feels more ornamental than functional.
Let me take a look at that sword. I'll cast Identify on the sword. I'll try to cast Identify on the sword.
Which would require you to touch it.
You
Give
know.
me an intelligence save.
You know. Intelligence first or the spellcasting first? That's not that bad. Intelligence save?
Yep.
That's an 18. Better than the last time. I think I was like a 6 last time.
The psychic pain that you feel upon touching the sword racks and spasms you to the point where you can't really hold on to it. The spell doesn't even get an opportunity to work. You drop the sword as you take 68 points of psychic damage.
Whew. I assume I like
68
fly.
or 6d8?
68.
Yeah.
Oh!
So and Thorn like drops the sword and just kind of falls over backwards. I'm not unconscious, but I feel like every orifice of my face is bleeding in. Next time I go to grab something, stop me.
At least at this place.
Eritrea, as you watch Foreign nearly just get shattered by that, no one else could see her, but you see Davini standing there staring at you, but you realize that no one else can see her. Only you can see her. And she just seems to be patiently staring at you as if waiting for you to do something.
I ask Davini if this sword is for me.
You guys notice that Eritreo speaks out towards the sword. He seems to be addressing Davini, but you see no one else standing there. You see no one else in the chamber. It's just the four of you.
And I'll have been reaching down to give 30 points of healing to Foreign.
Okay.
Thank you.
As you reach down to do that, you, Professor, and Foreign kind of glance around the chamber while Eritreos seems to be in this conversation, you notice that all the faces on the different Azamar statues begin to slightly animate, like their eyes blink. Their stone kind of features begin to soften. There's a strange kind of animus taking over here that feels disconnected from what Eritreo is doing. Eritreo, you hear the voice of Davini. You took my heart, and you gave it back freely, Chosen One. I give you the blade that will guide you on your way. A blade that will not only redeem you, but will redeem our kind and grant us the vengeance needed to restore our temple.
Will my friends be okay when I take upon this burden?
Sense doubt in your words. What does doubt, friends, and the burden have to do with what is required of us? Simply take the sword and begin your journey.
Treo, who are you talking to? Is she here?
You think he's talking to Corinna?
With that pain expression on his face, definitely talking to Corinna.
Right.
The sword will tell me where to go, what to do, and this will help bring peace to this world. Because that is my goal.
Will provide you with clarity. The sword will provide you with understanding. The sword will provide you with a choice to do something that will bring back faith to this world. Bring back the understanding of beginnings and endings.
If I can have influence on bringing faith in a positive light to this world, it seems like the right thing to do. I reach down and grab the sword.
No!
As you reach out, you place your hand around the pommel of the sword. What appears to be a weapon of heavy make that should feel heavy with the metal and what it's made from. It is impossibly light, deft, and easy to pick up. You feel a sense of euphoria begin to kind of overwhelm you slightly. Give me a charisma save, if you would please, Eritreo.
+4.
+4, because Melody would be close enough.
Charisma. That is a 7.
7.
With the +4?
I rolled a 3, and I have a 0.
Oh, man. It was meant to be.
All of you watch as Eritro picks up the sword. Not sure why he's talking to Davini. Davini's not there from your perspective. As he picks up the sword, he had already had his wings out. They begin to alter a bit. They begin to take on a bit more of a kind of traditional celestial form with edges of silver and black interwoven into the fibers and contours of his wings. You also notice that he seems to kind of glow with a kind of almost like divine light, briefly. As he holds the sword, you notice that his eyes glow and dim and glow and dim. There's a feeling he's lost. He's in some kind of meditative or transcendental kind of battle between him and something unseen.
Freyo.
You all right?
He cannot hear you and he cannot respond to you. He's lost to the dim light of the sword. He seems to be lost until you feel this booming thaumaturgy of an echo fill the chamber. And Eritreo's voice, very deep and very dark. Prove yourselves. Prove yourselves. And he brings the blade up, points it to each one of you. You watch as a glow of energy begins to wrap around you, himself, the chamber. The chamber falls away around you. And the four of you are in this celestial astral sea all around you. There are thousands and thousands of celestial beings and creatures watching you in this space. And Eritreo's voice booming in your direction. I said, prove yourself! And immediately comes at a swinging attack towards you, Melody. The blade so fast, arcing so quick, you barely have enough time to sidestep and get it out of the way. And when it swings through the area where you were, there's a shock of energy that pulses out and around. You feel the radiant energy of the blade kind of like roll over you. Your skin kind of burns with a strange sensation. And all the celestial beings on the perimeter of this begin to cheer and yell in like kind of like this unison like celestial chant. You watch as Eritreo's face turns to look towards Forn. Prove yourself. With a blur is in front of Forn, a blade coming down towards you, Forn. You pivot out of the way, another explosion of energy based on where you were. You, Professor and Melody, kind of sit there looking at Eritreo, who's lost to himself currently. This blade is compelling him. There's something not right about what has happened. The three of you have an opportunity here. What would you like to try to do?
I want to fly up to him and just kind of put my hand on top of his, on the sword's hilt, and just kind of gently try to take it out of his grasp. It's okay, Andrea. Let's calm down a bit now.
As you strode up to him and you put your hand on his hand to kind of get him to calm down, I need you to make a wisdom save, if you would, please.
Actually, that's not that bad. Okay. That is a 21.
Ooh.
Nice. You feel this dark energy is moving between you and Eritreo. You've distracted him enough to where the outline of a form steps in and out of Eritreo's physical form. Eritreo, give me another charisma save, if you would, please.
+4 because you're by the professor.
Yep.
11.
11.
Don't you have an inspiration?
Oh, yeah, let me use that. Yeah. 13.
13.
Oh, no.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But God, that cat is fucking ginormous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always laugh when his fur all grows back in because he gets twice as big.
He does.
Eritreo lashes out at you, Professor. The sword striking into your armor and into your physical form as you take 18 points of radiant damage. You feel a wave of nausea overwhelm you, Professor, as you take an additional 25 points of necrotic damage. And you kind of feel the stunning effect of the blade more than the realization of Eritreo's existence. It causes you to back up a bit. Melody and Ford, you saw Professor try to calm him down, and he is just rebuffed with this radiant energy and necrotic energy that pushes Professor away from Eritreo.
I think Melody would race forward with her sword and be like, Davini, get the fuck out of his head! And like bring my hilt down really hard on his hands to try and knock the sword out of his hands.
Yeah, give me an attack roll. See how
Okay.
this goes.
Okay. We'll see. What's a good dice to attack with? Do I get 2 attacks for 1 AP?
Well, we're not technically in initiative.
All right.
This is for the sake of trying to free Eritreo.
I don't even think for Eritreo a 9 would hit.
Yeah, like as you go to bring down the hilt of your weapon down towards Eritreo, he watches you come close, his blazing eyes fuming. He backhands you with the sword, slaps you across the chest and face and arm as you kind of tumble backwards, taking 12 points of radiant damage and 21 points of necrotic damage.
All right.
Ford, anything you want to try to...
First, I'm going to try and cast Sanctuary on myself.
Okay.
So I'll try to roll that real quick.
Yep, do a casting roll on Sanctuary.
So, fingers crossed, Oh, boy. No, I don't. That's a 2 plus 6.
Oh, and you're natural magic or arcane? You're arcane, right?
I'm arcane. Well, this is Artificer. So Sanctuary is an Artificer spell. So I have Ranger, which is natural, though, but this one's an arcane. I got a little both.
Yeah, give me a D100. This should be interesting.
Oh, boy. Here's for 100, right?
Let's do it.
How about a 92, though?
Ooh.
I'll take that.
You watch as a font of power begins to glow in front of you as you are focusing on this spell. The spell automatically works. It goes off. So what spell were you casting?
Sanctuary on myself.
Sanctuary. You feel Sanctuary wrap around you as it goes off. However, your next two spell casting rolls will automatically pass.
Okay. Then if that's the case, I'm going to that takes time though. Crap. Dang. Takes a minute. I don't have a minute. Sorry. If the spell takes a minute, I was like, crap, I don't think that's going to work. So I will use Zephyr Strike and Ambush Prey both.
Okay.
So Zephyr Strike makes me move a lot faster.
Yep.
And Ambush Prey will turn me invisible with the intent of trying to get behind him real quick, go invisible.
And do what?
And then I just want to talk to him.
You get the feeling that Professor Jalbatros did distract Eritreo. And Eritreo, you saw he was struggling with the effect, almost as if maybe physically interacting with Eritreo garners him a chance to break whatever effect this sword has.
Yeah. So I will... Born's just going to try and hug him. Just like not grapple, full on grapple, but just kind of like grab onto him.
I'll give you advantage on the attempt, but what's that going to feel like? Is that going to feel like
I'm not trying
acrobatics?
So I'm not trying to restrain him at all. I'm just trying to grab onto him.
Okay. Yeah. Give me athletics or acrobatics. Eritrea, give me athletics or acrobatics. Your choice.
With advantage on acrobatics, that's a 25.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a 7.
Okay. You managed to hug and hold on to Eritrea. Eritrea, give me another charisma save, if you would, please.
All right, let's get some new dice in here.
And I'm saying, like, but Foreign does that, and he's saying, "Hey, buddy, we know you now. Really, really don't want to hurt you. Really don't want to be hurt by you."
12.
12. You feel like as you're being held, you feel the blade plunge into the center of your back, Thorn, as you take 48 points of piercing damage.
Oh,
Okay. Foreign's unconscious.
You watch as Thorn's unconscious body drops to the ground, the blade being retracted out. You watch as the blood gets absorbed into the blade.
But, like, I guess when it hits, it's like, trail, and, like, slumps off.
Right. You then watch as Eritrea smiles down at the perceived corpse of Thorn. He booms out in his voice, "This one's not worthy. Prove yourself." Points his sword both at Melody and Professor again. He immediately arcs over in your direction, Melody, bringing the blade up and down. You watch as the blade once again cracks at your feet. The necrotic energy kind of boiling around you. You then watch as he kind of like he's a blur as he stands in front of Professor Jalbatros, bringing the blade down, but Professor manages to get out of the way just in the nick of time, and the explosion of arcane energy cracks at his feet. Foreign, give me a death save, if you would, please.
Yep.
Actually, could I,
17 for that one. too.
assuming he's close enough, could I just hit him with a Spare the Dying? Just stabilize him?
You have to be able to touch him for Spare the Dying, right?
I believe so.
And currently, Eritrea stands between you and Foreign's corpse.
I got you. Fair enough.
Not
Okay.
corpse yet. That was a good roll. It was a 17. It wasn't a 1.
Okay. That's one success.
Right.
Professor
Jalbatros and Melody, you have another opportunity here.
All right. I'm going to do pretty much what I tried to do earlier. Just come up, like, put a firm but kind of ultimately supposed to be comforting hand on his shoulder, and try to like grab the wrist with the sword and just be like, "This isn't you, Eritrea. Let it go."
Eritrea, give me another charisma save as you feel this person grab onto you.
You gotta be kidding me. 11.
11.
are you? Because you're adding 4 to these, right?
Yes. I have not rolled up on an 8.
I think that's why it's even more painful for Eritrea. He's like, I'm adding like 8 to this, and I'm still only getting 11. You
Hey,
feel
you know
the
what?
blade, Professor, you feel the blade bite into the center of your stomach. It just drives through and out. Melody, you see out the back of Professor Jalbatros, the blade pushes through out his back. And you watch as Eritrea pulls out the blade as Professor takes 59 points of piercing damage.
Yep, I'm down.
And you watch as Professor falls unconscious to the ground, slumps to the ground. You watch as Eritrea steps over that perceived corpse, moves directly in front of you. Both of them are floating in this astral kind of sea or this celestial dome that you're inside of. Eritrea begins to approach you, eyes blazing, the sword absorbing the blood into the sword.
I would attack him, but if he hits me like that, I'm gonna die, and then we're all gonna die. So I'm gonna throw a healing word at Forn to try and get him back up.
And that's a casting roll, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, give me that casting roll for starters.
Okay. I'm gonna do it at 2nd level because I think it hardly matters when Eritrea is hitting this hard. Let's see. Or where do I even have? Okay. So casting roll, I got to roll 12.
Yep, 12 or higher. Meets it, beats it.
I rolled an 11.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
Give me a D100 if you would, please, Melody.
Okay.
Oh, this is fun.
Great.
I think.
And this is going to be off the new Divine team.
So I'm part paladin, part bard,
Ooh,
but I was
yeah.
trying to do a divinity spell.
You were, so it would be off the divinity table. So
All right.
that would be
So
fair.
I rolled a 60.
A 60. You watch as radiant energy begins to form around you without even realizing it. You watch as energy pours off your weapon and it slams in to Eritrea. Eritrea, you will take 21 points of psychic or radiant damage. Go ahead and make a charisma save with advantage. But Melody, you feel this backlash after striking him. It comes like back towards you, and you take 12 points of radiant damage.
All right.
All right. 23.
23.
DC was a 25. So.
No, you know what'd be worse? DC was a 24.
Yeah.
That'd be worse. Eritrea, you hear the sound of a sword landing on the chamber floor, clattering. As your eyes focus, you see Melody staring at you, but Thorn lies unconscious on the ground. Professor Jalbatras lies unconscious on the ground. You're back in the center of the chamber, the sword on the ground. Blood on your hands, blood splatters on the front of you. Thorn, give me another death save. Professor Jalbatras, give me a death save, if you would, please.
Ooh, not 20.
Didn't know.
You stabilize. You're at 1 hit point, Thorn.
Okay, that's a 5 for me. So
That's a failure.
that's a fail.
I'll rush over and put a healing word if I can into Professor Jalbatras.
Yeah, give me a casting roll as you go to cast
Okay.
healing word on him.
Okay.
I'm gonna
First
cure
level.
wounds
First
myself.
level. We're just trying to get an 11 here. Okay, we got it.
Okay, you're good.
All
Spell
right.
goes off.
I'm cure wounds.
Okay, Professor, that's 9 points of healing.
Professor comes back to consciousness.
I rolled a 12 on a first level spell, so I'm good.
Eritrea, you're looking down at the sword. There's no sense of Divini being connected to you anymore. There's just this feeling of betrayal, lies, this feeling of anger and confusion overwhelming you. Your eyes no longer kind of aglow or confused. You get this feeling that this divinity, this Divini, is more than what she's been explaining herself to be. She may or may not be the first of Azamir, but there is something darker, more sinister. That sword in your hand made you feel like you were the most powerful person in the world. And it was important that everybody around you prove themselves to you, prove themselves to be worthy in your presence, to restore the faithful, to bring back the temple of First of Azamir. All of this felt overwhelming and dangerous and deceitful at the same time.
Thorn. Jalbatras.
Yeah.
What the hell was that?
I don't know, and I cannot apologize enough for that.
You put a hole through my chest.
I'm gonna throw Karina's book at Eritreo's face.
The journal hits you and then kind of tumbles to the ground.
That was deserved. that was
I
deserved.
almost feel bad that she's not here. That would have been. I'm sure that would have been added. That's some hot goss for later.
All right, Professor. D6. D6 inspiration for that one.
We can't let anybody else touch that sword.
Thorn, you don't have any explosives or anything on you, do you? I want to
No.
blow this up.
I got the hole though. I'll take out the portable hole. I'm trying to get the sword out of the way right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Could I?
pop open the portable hole. Yeah, go ahead, Professor.
I was gonna say. I say not to metagame too much, but I say this as a guy with very high intelligence and charisma. Can I try to pick it up?
Absolutely. To put it in the portable hole?
I was gonna say like just to see if it's like, hey, you seem like not like I don't need to try to dominate you or whatever it's doing.
I mean, you get the feeling that it's
It
psychic
didn't go well for
barrier.
me.
Yeah, I mean, you get the feeling that whatever psychic barrier protects it will attempt to protect itself again, and you'll probably experience some kind of psychic effect from the attempt to touch it.
Here's some John Denver playing in the background.
Yeah, I don't have a great wisdom, so that sounds like the kind of stupid thing I would do. I am a very arrogant burb. So, all right, I'll try to pick it up.
Go ahead and give me an intelligence save.
Ooh, okay, that's good. And I get a +4 on that. Yay! Ooh, cool. I actually, without that is a 24.
+4 for
Yeah, no,
Melody.
that's including that. That's,
Yeah, it doesn't stack. Like our two auras don't stack because we
Correct,
each
correct.
have the benefit of our own aura.
correct.
Right. So yeah, I have a +6 intelligence, and then I have the +4 from Melody.
You will take half of 48 points of psychic damage.
Well, I'm back down.
Oh,
You watch as Professor shudders, drops the blade, falls unconscious onto the ground yet again.
Nope.
Yep. I'm gonna stand opposite the portable hole from the blade and try and thorn whip the blade into the hole.
Ooh, I'm okay with that. That's good flavor.
'Cause it's
We'll
cantrip.
say you bring out the thorn whip and snap the blade. It skids across and boop, falls into the portable hole.
Well, at least that's there where nobody else can get it. And I'm gonna pop the hole and roll it back up. You want to destroy this place, though? Is that what you were saying?
yeah, I've believed that this is who I'm supposed to be connected to, and I've been deceived, and I want this place destroyed. It is
Professor,
not-
give me a death save if you would, please.
I have an. I can't. I don't think I got anything on me to blow it up, but I have an idea.
yeah.
Sorry, 13. So
13.
success.
Success?
I'll heal the professor.
Okay. She says reluctantly.
Yeah.
All right, that was a success. So that's 10 points of healing.
So
Nice.
you remember how Archon was pissed and told us all to leave and don't ever come back and all that stuff, right? And he said
Yeah.
if he found us anywhere, he's going to try and kill us or whatever. He's a big bird, and this is a big
Oh.
temple, but I don't have anything to blow it up. But perhaps we can get him to tear it down.
What happened? I don't understand. We did not see Davini. You took the sword. You tried to kill us.
I thought he was talking to
I
me.
would
Like
like to
Gordon
know-
was
I
answering
would
it the whole
like to know
time.
an explanation before we burn down the temple.
You all know I've been on a journey to try to find myself and figure out who I am. And Davini told me this was my destiny. And I thought it was the culmination of the journey I've been on.
what did she say to you? What did she promise you? Why would you pick up a sword in a temple for an angel that is largely regarded, that a lot of people say are like totally evil?
Is it evil?
It said it will guide me on its way.
What way?
Just to help bring back the Aasimar. That could potentially help this world and bring some peace. To bring some divine light into this world.
Isn't that a little like anti-you though? You're very, I mean, you're not the sword guy, right?
I thought I would try it out. Apparently, it didn't work.
He just Forn's like rubbing where the hole was in his chest. Yeah.
I thought this would be my way to get true power to positively influence this world. I thought this was my destiny, and I was mistaken and am ashamed.
Well, I mean,
There's nothing I could do but ask for your forgiveness.
you don't have to ask forgiveness from me. I got you in a number of spots already. I mean, we just start to balance the load a little bit.
You hear that, Melody? If Forn can forgive me, maybe you should too.
Sorry. I heard them playing it, and it was those balls like just smashing together.
Oh man, some definite vibes on that one. See how easy that is? He can forgive me. Sure, you can too.
I mean, Forn and Eritrea have a bit of a history, though, and typically it's Forn getting Eritrea into trouble, so it's kind of the other way around this time. No. Forn's like, I owe you some. So.
I can forgive someone who feels sorry, but like you don't seem sorry, if I'm being honest.
I do feel
and
sorry.
I don't understand, Forn, why you're willing to accept one quick I'm sorry from the guy who just literally killed you, and we're mad at Karina because she's a changeling and there are bad guys who are changelings.
No. Hang on. I'm not mad at Karina because she's a changeling. I'm mad at Karina because she seems at odds with Artanian. And I brought up the changeling because now it's another rock floating in the pot we're trying to get the eggs out of. It's another twist in the story that I'm not so sure about. We were all in following Artanian before. We were all in helping him. We were all in doing all that before. And now suddenly she talks to whatever is in Archon, and suddenly she's against Artanian, the Archfey, who we've followed for how long now?
She didn't even say she was against Artanian, except that it sounds like he kidnapped her.
Artanian said, "Don't touch him."
Eritrea, we just repaired the temple for this angel lady. He took the sword and he immediately tried to kill us, and he's not even apologizing.
I asked for forgiveness. I asked for forgiveness. What else am I supposed to do? I said I'm sorry. I was possessed. Have you ever been possessed? Probably doesn't sound like it.
No, I don't get possessed nearly as easily as several of the people in this group.
Oh, Miss
You were pretty possessed when Tom was here. You were pretty possessed when Tom was here. You were pretty, like, I haven't seen you turn that color red before.
Oh, yeah, I was possessed with anger. Sure.
Right. Yeah. I do want to point out, we've talked about this before, about my vision I had of my past, So he's gone through it now, and he shook it off. And he didn't go after the sword again. Like, looks at Professor like, dummy. But we have the sword. It's stored away safe. Let's not tell Karina about it, because she'll try to pick it up.
Melody. I get on my knees and kind of like, please understand, I have no ill will towards you. And did you not hear me ask if my friends would be okay? That was the first thing I asked when Davini.
He did say that.
Wait, you don't know that because you were dead on the ground at that time.
Oh, it was before.
No, that was before. That was at the beginning.
The first time he was dead when I had to revive him.
Oh yeah.
He died, and then you were like, Davini, will my friends be okay? And she's like, you should just follow the path. I'm going to show you the beginning and the end. And you're like, sounds good.
Melody, let's imagine that, this sword for someone like you is a wonderful party that all of the greatest elves and townsfolk are being invited to, and it's a can't miss party. And you're told, you go to this party, your social status will jump. You'll have the greatest time. You'll meet many wonderful people. That was this sword for me. That was the compulsion. And I'm sure you would ask, can my friends come to the party? And it's like, well, maybe. Then you go, all right, I'm going to go to the party.
Well, wait. So she said, well, maybe, and you said, great.
Yes, just like
I have been invited to shitty, seedy parties, and I have said no.
But this was not the shitty, seedy party. This was like the party.
You have also been stolen away while out at a party.
No, I was out. First of all, are we blaming me for being attacked on the street?
We're all just turning on Melody.
I'm just looking for calls in the law.
First of all, I thought you liked the Fae Ford. No, you're if you get kidnapped on the street because you're Fae, it's your own fault.
No, that's not what I said. You went off with your friend, had a party, things happened, we had to go save you. And we saved your sister.
I think there are people in this group who put too much trust in men and women with big names and high charisma. And people need to stick to their convictions a little more and remember what we're doing here.
Well, we were here for Eritrea. We were here for him. We were here for his vision. We were here for... He's been talking... Remember from the first time he talked about that statue way back when we were still in Jrusar.
But Tria,
said, this statue is crying and it wants me. Now, granted, Davini did show up and eat some of my soul, but that wasn't Eritrea's fault.
Melody, I understand it'll take some time to repair this incident, but I promise my intentions are good. I want to help this world, and I've been feeling very lost. When I found out I am not really who I thought I was, and I've been told by numerous people you need to discover yourself, and something was thrown in my face telling me this will help me complete my journey. And in my mind, my journey is to help Jrusar, to help this world, and to bring goodness and light. And did I make an error judgment? Potentially. But I wanted to do it for the good of this world. And I cannot apologize enough. Ford, do you think that was enough apologizing?
Maybe I'm not the best judge of character here, but
I don't actually say that. I don't actually say that. I am very sincere. Very sincere.
Melody, up to this point, have you had reason to doubt Eritrea's intentions?
I don't feel like I understand what Treo's intentions are. I thought I knew, and now, I don't feel like I do know. I thought the goal was to like brighten Jrusar. I thought that's what we were doing. This woman is like stealing souls. Like these feel like not compatible goals in my mind. So I'm just confused. I don't understand what happened. And now I'm wondering if there's something I'm missing.
He went to a party. The vibe was off, but he'd been drinking, so he couldn't leave yet. And his friends got him out of the party, and now he's not going to go back again.
Are you going to go back again?
Of course not.
That's why the sword's in the hole. I don't want anybody else to go back. Actually, we could try to give that sword to Blackhand. I wouldn't mind to see what happens.
No.
Look, I don't think he can pick the sword up either, I guess is what I'm getting at. It would just... Maybe it could take care of a problem, is my point.
He hasn't shown his face in months.
Melody, you can acknowledge that sometimes we all make mistakes and we get caught up with the wrong people. Your sister, for example, who she married. I'm just saying, you forgave her, didn't you?
She also sent her husband away to some painful death of crazy. But
didn't send her sister away. Her sister had an error of judgment, just like I did.
Her error of judgment did not result in people dying.
Could have. He was a spy.
That Shimmerling might disagree.
Well, they didn't kill the Shimmerling.
Melody,
no,
at the end of the day,
Tom was in the group that released it. That was that whole thing came from.
Melody, at the end of the day, I understand your hesitation towards me. I understand why you may not trust me, and I will have to work to build that trust back up. And I don't think I need to continue to try to win you over in this moment, because I've understood that I can't. It will take time, and I understand that, and I will respect your feelings.
I have some talents, but mending does not work on the threads of friendship. Okay.
It's our first fight.
I'm just gonna clean my sword, flip my hair, and walk away.
What did you read in that book, by the way? You were really enthralled in that for a while.
Business.
I tried. Well, look, Trejo, if you want to destroy this place, like I said, I don't know that I have the means to do that myself, but I would risk trying to approach Archon again.
I feel like we've been told not to mess with him anymore, and I appreciate the sentiment and the thought behind it, but we should leave him be.
All right.
I think we've already pissed off a couple of people because we antagonized him a little bit.
There ain't no
there's no
we to that.
We're a team. Right, Melody?
I'm 40 feet away.
Yeah, she's already walking towards the airship.
Yeah.
Just double birds behind the head, just like
That is the vibe, sword over one shoulder, the finger over the other shoulder.
Love it.
Well, look, maybe I can take a look at the columns, and they all kind of align. By the way, are they out of character for a second? Are the columns still looking at us, or is that whole thing done?
All the animation's gone. All the magic is subdued. It's just back to its normal self. Other than the fact that you helped kind of get the sword into the portable hole, there's no divine presence here. There's no divinity. There's no reverence. There's no feeling of this place is important anymore. It just feels like an empty old chamber from the past.
if you still want to try and tear it down,
Lauren really wants to blow this place up.
you put the
I mean,
idea in my head, but
scale and effort would be. I mean, not even the Rock really would have the ability to do, anything other than superficial damage to it. I mean, the place is like 5-6 stories tall. It's got a huge observatory dome with the columns and the statues. The base of its foundation,
like just to collapse the dome, like take out one.
Yeah,
of the
I mean, it'd be
columns
superficial. So like the stuff that could be broken could be broken. Yeah, possibly.
So I'm going to take it as read that the professor has just kind of like walked off with Melody, just because the idea that you would wantonly destroy this place, probably it's pretty great historical significance. He's just like, nope. So, like, I'm gonna fight you on that. Just from like a professional ethics standpoint, you almost died twice.
Again, I got a lot of ways to think of, but they all take time.
I think we should get out of here and head on the way. Get back to our original mission. See if we can find Karina.
She's supposed to be around here. Where's she been?
You're muted.
Melody has been like cantripping message, which is 120 feet, being like, Karina.
Yeah, like
no
luck.
You?
Yeah, no luck. She is
Nothing.
nowhere within 120 feet.
And it probably is like Melody's been so upset, but it's probably dimly starting to occur to her that she's like, why would Karina leave her journal here? It doesn't make sense. She was going for a swim. That doesn't make any sense.
You guys begin to gather back together on the airship as the airship lifts up and away from the ruins, back towards Jrusar.
Yep.
I mean, someone has to figure out where Karina is, right?
I want to try to scry and figure out where Karina is.
Oh, interesting. I like that. So for scry, believe.
I don't think Ring of Mind Shield prevents that one.
No, it does not.
Please roll well.
So picture or other likeness, garment or other possession.
We have
the target well. Karina, I need you to give me a wisdom save. Wisdom save. Yeah, give me a wisdom save at. I'm going to put it at a -9 on your roll.
Ooh.
You're on mute.
Nope. You're muted.
You're muted.
That was a nat 20 plus 6. So that's a 26.
Wow.
-9 is a
23.
21. Come on now.
26 minus 9 is a
26 minus
17.
9 is 17.
You guys, math is subjective.
What's the DC on your scry, Trail?
16.
Oh,
Nothing
you're gonna
but
try to. There's two things that become relevant to you, Eritrea. She resists your scry, which means she's also aware that you tried to scry on her, and she resisted it. You get the feeling that she does not want to be found.
Please tell Forn.
Well, do we want to be technical? I didn't roll for that spell.
Well, I mean, you can still make your casting roll if you choose to.
Yeah, I mean,
Might as well.
So that's 5.
I don't think that's going to make it.
Oh, that's that. Oh, I rolled a 15, and it is a 50 because it's a level 5 spell.
Okay, good. You made it. Just barely.
In my teeth.
The look on Melody's face, she's like,
Close one.
it's like that's been
Very
multiple
very
casting
close.
roll failures already.
Yeah.
All right. So
Since
wait,
we've taken on this casting role thing, our role play roles have turned into casting roles.
wait. So did we want to go back to Jrusar, or weren't we going to try to go to the Hellcatch?
Well, we had to go to Jrusar first to get to the actual airship. We took the skiff to Hartman.
Oh, yes, you're right.
But do you tell us though about not being able to scry on Karina?
Yeah, I tell. She blocked me.
Well, she's swimming. Maybe she's naked.
I'm not a creep.
Okay, just a
That's-
murderer.
That's a losing fight right now. Okay.
I'm not a creep.
We're
I'm a
just
killer.
Melody and I are just bickering.
Yeah.
Look, Corinna said before we left to come out here, she was urgently trying to go to see the Bright Queen, or to see Regina.
Do you know where the Bright Queen is?
I can contact the Bright Queen.
I think if we can have any chance of finding out where Karina is, we should.
All right. And Born's going to activate his token, the Bright Queen's token, and he sends the message to the Bright Queen. The changeling Corinna is we think the changeling Corinna is there with you. Treat her with caution. She has run away from us, and we don't know her intentions. I don't know her intentions.
You actually get a sending message in reply. Sorry, Fawn. I do not know who you're talking about. I've not seen your friend, Karina. If I do see her, I will be sure to be cautious, and I will let you know.
Huh.
This is really dangerous for me now.
The
Do you want to try and
Queen
spy on
said
me
Karina's
again?
not there, so I don't know. I don't know where Karina.
Karina's like, nobody in the world knows where I am right now.
So yeah.
Okay, so she's not.
Not with the Bright Queen. Yeah. I mean, what do you do when you lose a child, right? You go back home, right?
You go back home and let the child fend for itself in the wilderness.
No, the child will find its way back home, right? That's a thing here, isn't it?
Well, she has teleport, right? So she can get back by herself. Maybe she just wants to be left alone.
I don't have anything to find. My out of character. I don't have anything to find somebody. I'm really good at hiding stuff, and I guess actually, tell you what, I'm gonna see if I can find an animal around, like because I can use beast sense. I'm gonna try and find like, yeah, we look for a bird, either a bird or some kind of like a ferret creature, something like that, with a good sense of smell. So
Give me a survival check as you glance around.
I was gonna say, that's a good one. 17 plus 6 is a 23.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say that while you guys are loading up on the airship and realizing the air trail, run into this problem of trying to track down Karina, and then you're beginning to feel the airship immediately start to take off. You glance over to some nearby branches, and you catch like a small red-tailed hawk nearby, and it notices you and flies over and settles on your shoulder.
Okay, I'm going to use, here it is. Yeah, beast sense. So touch a willing beast. For the duration of the spell, I can use my action to see through their eyes, hear what it hears, continue to do so, to use my action to do so until I return to my senses. Concentration up to an hour. So for an hour, I can be circling around as this hawk trying to look for any trace of Karina if I get the spell off. Let me roll for that real quick.
Yeah. Spell casting roll for starters.
Roll the 12, so it's
You're good.
Second level.
Give me perception with advantage because it is a hawk.
Yep. All right.
Raptors do have advantage on their perception checks.
All right, that's a 17 plus my perception is a 10, so 27.
Yeah, I mean, you should have spotted her. She is nowhere within an hour's journey around you. And, you know, it's getting late. So it's dark out now. You're gradually kind of like circling the area on your way back towards the area of Jrusar. And by the time you reach the outskirts of the lower spires of Jrusar, there's been no sign of Karina anywhere whatsoever.
So I ward back into myself and look, I just spent the better part of the last few minutes flying around in that hawk, and there's no sign of Karina anywhere here.
Karina, what's your passive perception?
My passive perception is 16.
Okay. Thanks.
I'm gonna get betrayed, aren't I?
Oh no.
That's okay. At least I'll know. At least I'll know that I was correct.
So as far as you can tell, Foreign, you don't get the feeling that Karina's anywhere in the immediate area. You should have been able to find her, or should have been able to have found her, and she's not out here. I mean, you genuinely believe that the Bright Queen hasn't seen her. You had no reason to mistrust that. So
yeah, Foreign would have no reason to think that somebody else or anybody else might have. Either if they've replaced the Bright Queen and taken her token or something.
Yeah.
He wouldn't know either way, but he would just assume that it's the Bright Queen.
Do you have sending, Treo?
But I've got neither hide nor hair of Karina in this area.
I do have sending.
Melody's very condescendingly like, well, then did you want to send her a message?
I feel like Melody and Treo are like, she doesn't even call him Eritreo anymore. It's just Treo.
I should go back to calling him Eritreo.
I was going to say, I thought Treo was a sign of affection. So.
Yeah.
Stranger.
Yeah.
What should I say? What should I say to? Well, first I should try to see if the spell works. So that's a third level. I got a 12.
Come on.
You are my Will Wheaton. I bow to the ultimate power of your rolls and validating my wild magic tables. Give me a D100. Yeah.
It's nice you get to use your D100 so often.
I know.
59.
59. And that is divinity, or no, you are you're technically a cleric, right?
Yes.
So you can either choose arcane or divinity.
Divinity.
Okay. And what was that again? That was a
59.
59. You feel a feeling of vengeance kind of overwhelm you. This feeling of frustration and energy kind of pouring out of your hands and striking out into the open space around you. Because you did not have a target, everybody around you takes 3d8 radiant damage. So I need you to roll 3d8, if you would please, Eritreo.
I'm glad that I, you know,
It's 6 points of damage for
So everyone around you takes
at
6
least
points.
consistently
radiant damage.
rolls low. Okay. He consistently rolls low.
And if anybody was watching, they'd see this airship like near the outskirts of Jrusar, and then there's suddenly this like 50-foot radiant burst of energy that crackles around the airship, and then I would imagine they hear Melody cussing.
You just hear Melody go, "Oh my god!"
I thought so. Air Trail looks like Tim after he like gets zapped off the off the electric fence in Jurassic Park, and his hair is all standing up.
Yeah.
At this point,
I just kind of I look at Melody and shrug.
the professor has kind of been taking this in stride, but he's a little exasperated at this point because I have 4 hit points. Like there's just blood pouring out of one of my Nargons, and it's like
We
I would
probably had
say-
a short rest, right? Because
Yeah, I would say you guys could prosecute a short rest at this point.
Okay, thank God.
So Karina, back in the cell with Regina Greencloak, Essek kind of waiting outside the chamber door. Regina Greencloak begins to tell you a story. She tells you the story of a group of changelings that survived a catastrophe some 10 years ago. This catastrophe was the destruction of the Phalanx and the Feywild, which is a home to lots of extraordinary and unique creatures, both ill-intended or intended for good, depending on your own perspective. She describes loyal family members, generations of living, this overwhelming sense that she is telling you a life story of Fey folk and changelings simply being ripped out and cast down to the material plane after the destruction of Feywild. And she tells it from a perspective that you could clearly tell that she blames those who are more of a human nature within the material plane. There is both anger and passion in her storytelling. She talks about how she came across an archfey that goes by the name of Artagnan. She also tells you a story of how she came across other fays as well. She tells you of a story of a changeling that has a strange innate ability to see fae wherever they are. And this is what attracted her to join the Iron Collective and the group of changelings that have been prosecuting their vengeance against those that they feel are responsible for the destruction of their land. And because of this, she's been used by the other changelings and the Iron Collective as a means to try to locate where these archfey might be. Something about her innate power, something about what a skill that she has or an ability that she has. She doesn't quite understand it or know what it is. And she's just kind of lost in this storytelling. And when she's finally done telling the story about her ability to track down Archfey, there's the beginnings of tears kind of coming down her eyes. But she's smiling. She's happy because someone as important as you, someone so important as you, a trusted friend, a trusted lover, is still going to save her from this place. And she kind of walks over. She grabs onto your hands. We can leave now, right? I've told you everything I know. We can leave.
Almost. I just need to understand. How many of those archfey have you found? And why do you need to find them?
She lets go of your hands. She turns away. I don't want to talk about that.
I'm sorry, but you have to.
She looks back over at you with a smile and tears. Because the only way we can get back our land, the only way that we can find a home again, is to make this place our home. We need to change this place into what will become our home. We need to get rid of those that cause so much damage and so much harm. And we simply trust these people with our existence and our future. She runs over to you. She grabs your hands. We can do this. It's our responsibility as creatures from the Fae. It's our requirement. We punish those responsible for what happened to us, and that we bring back a place for us to call home. Think of all the wonderful things we could do together. Think of all the love we can share. Think of all the things that our kind deserve.
And I want that future too, but in order for it to happen, you have to tell me, which Archfey have you found? Where are they? And how do you plan to activate them?
Archfey don't deserve our love anymore, Karina. They sacrificed the Feywild to save themselves. And Spike says we can use them to bring our world back. We could use the innate magical properties of an Archfey, change them, alter them, sacrifice them, and use their inherent magical abilities to bring our world back. They don't deserve our love, Karina. The Archfey.
You have convinced me. Please tell me, how do we plan to change their nature? How do we plan to sacrifice them?
Spike says that he has found a place in the very heart of the Rumadan Desert. He believes this used to be a chamber of alteration, a place that you could augment someone's physicality, change their memory, change the physical nature of their appearance. He says this place was once used by an individual that goes by the name of Mason. I don't know who this person is, but he said that this Mason used this as a place to alter himself and tap into the magic of the different worlds. Spike is convinced that once all the remaining 15 surviving Archfey are found, they can be placed in this chamber. And with the help of Kemp, they can be altered, their power funneled into this chamber, and we can turn this place that we live in now into the very essence of the Feywild. No one's going to miss the material plane. No one's going to miss these Archfey. Their hubris, their greed, and their insistence on saving themselves is what doomed our land. Had they sacrificed themselves and given themselves over, the Feywild and the Shadowfell would still be here today.
Oh, Regina. And she holds her hand, and she is going to message her. So she doesn't say the response out loud. And what do you want with Karina?
She responds to your message. There's an Archfey in Karina. It's where one of the 15 are hidden.
Is that why?
We only know of 4 others that are hidden, but we're certain there's more.
And where are... sorry, and I'm going to message back. Still kind of...
We'll assume this conversation is messaging that's going back and forth.
And why did you send me to replace her?
Wasn't my choice to send you.
Why
She
did
seems confused. She's like, I don't understand this line of questioning. I know we're supposed to have known each other for a long time, but I don't feel like I've sent you anywhere.
Why?
Hey.
I'm sorry. Why did our masters did that? I just want to know how I can serve them better.
I have no idea why Regis does what he does. He simply does what he does. If Regis felt sending you to Jrusar was intended, then you'll have to ask him. I would not know.
How can I speak to Regis?
I believe he's in King's Fall.
And when did you first meet Artagnant?
Artagnan was our first discovery into understanding the capability of these Archfey and their arrogance and their failures. We know where he is, we just can't get to him yet. He hides in this pocket dimension in between planes of existence. He calls it his golden casino or something like that.
Oh, disgusting.
I agree. We know that he protects another Archfey that lingers in the Odolin Wilds. We know that Karina Prime, has an Archfey within her as well. And we're also aware of another Archfey that hides in the city of Bassaris. Other than that, we're not sure where the other 11 are, but we have helpful friends.
Who are some of those helpful friends?
By far the most helpful of all is a hag from the Shadowfell that is partnered with us. She seems to have an understanding of the Feywild and the Shadowfell unlike anything I've ever experienced. Hags won't give you their names, but he or she stated that there was a very important person that she was looking for, and we would allow ourselves to help her find this person. While we don't know exactly who they are, we know they are Elendril, and that they are important to her. Other than that, we don't know much. But we are looking. We are searching. We'll find them for her. No challenge there. It's always a matter of time, Karina. Everything is always a matter of time.
Of course. You once told me about a secret spot in the... Sorry, what was the name of the jungle we were just in? The Odorlin Wild?
The Odorlin
The
Wild.
Odorlin Wilds, yes.
You have once told me of a secret spot in the Odorlin Wilds. Can you please tell me again where it is and what's...
Damn it. I should have known I should have had that map out and ready to go. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Where is... There they are. She grabs onto your hands and pulls you close and whispers into your ear. North of Jrusar, and slightly nestled into a valley near the northeast of Jrusar, is a place called Gordaya. Within Gordaya, there's an underground ancient tomb that Regis had found for us. All of our operatives and changelings are required to meet there at least once every 30 days to check in with each other, and then we report back to King's Fall, so that no one ever truly knows where each other are, except for one single day within one single period of time. Makes it very difficult for them to find us. And in 2 weeks' time, we are expected to rally there and report on recent findings and activities. And then that person takes all the information to Regis in King's Fall. I know not where they hide in King's Fall. None of us know who and where they hide in King's Fall. Once again, we are an organization that makes sure we have limited information about each other, with the tendency of occasional meeting points from time to time.
Of course, Regina, but you've always been so clever. And you've always kept your secrets and knew how to stay ahead of any trouble. Surely you must know of any weaknesses of the organization, something to look out for.
See, that's the strange thing about our organization. It's designed to call out the weak. Only the dedicated are allowed to be involved. Only changelings are allowed to be involved in this part of the Iron Collective. We are the ears, the eyes, we are the network of finding all the information to bring back to Spike and the others for the purposes of getting rid of those that curry favor to those that were responsible for the destruction of the Feywild. And as far as weakness goes, I think our only weakness that I can think of is that there are times that we are so disconnected, so incapable of reaching out to each other, that we find ourselves isolated from time to time. Very similar to the way that me and you crossed paths. I had no one to reach out to. I had no ability to reach out to friend and ally. In order to protect the identity and those involved, you're forced to isolate yourself in certain situations. I feel like that's what happened to me, which I'm perfectly happy with, because my fondness and my love for you knows no bounds. I'm willing to do anything it takes for you, Karina. You merely have to ask, as long as I know how to respond and how to help you.
Oh, and how I appreciate that, my dear. And so I will ask you, how shall I... Oh, sorry. I'm just going to look at my notes real quick. Have you had any plans to escape this place? Anybody give you a sign of ways that you might get out?
No. I've been isolated ever since I was brought here. No sense of contact other than that foul creature out there in the chamber, Essek, who from time to time would try to peel my memories, try to alter my mind, try to force me to reveal things that I have very cleverly kept away from him and will continue to keep away from him.
Oh, what have you been keeping away from him, so I know to keep that away from him too?
Well, everything I've told you, dear Karina. Everything that I've told you, I've not been compelled to tell them. I would assume this bonds us in trust. We both... In fact, Karina, we could goad Essek into this chamber. We could destroy him and sneak our way out of here, and I could take you to Gordaya, and I can take you to those that can eventually take you to Regis and Spike. She grabs your hands and holds on to you. We can always use someone with your kind of faith, your kind of belief in our cause. I mean, I could see it in the passion of your eyes. Your vengeance, your need to destroy these foul creatures that destroyed our land are so obvious to me. It must be obvious to you.
I like that plan. I will think on it. I will help you with it. But first, you have to help me. And I do a minor illusion of Karina's parents. Are those changelings familiar to you?
I have not seen those changelings before. Who are they to you?
Old friends who I am searching for.
Oh. Well, if you help me get out of here, I can help you find them.
I will take you on that. What would you do? Can you see a future in which changelings are able to find another way to restore the Fae? A way that does not involve killing so many of the inhabitants of this world?
Why would we be interested in such a way? These things don't matter to us and to our cause. The way is the way. The light of Regis and the mighty arm of Spike will guide us into a new era of existence. The old world is dead. The gods flee, divinity fails, and the lack of hubris amongst those remaining in the material plane, they don't deserve They don't deserve our forgiveness, Karina. Are you sure you're on board with this? You seem to question so much about our cause.
I merely question my abilities, but you are right. I need to have more faith in myself. I will manifest like a true girl boss. Once you told me that Jamansa Ord is a doppelganger. Why would you say such a thing?
Oh, that's back when we first met.
Yeah,
Well, our job is to sow deceit and mistrust, to give out false information whenever possible. Our job is to make others look in dark corners thinking that their own kind intend to betray them.
what are some other deceits that you have given me before we were such good friends?
I don't recall much more than that. After that conversation, I was taken here by your other friend, the
Oh.
yellow or the blue-skinned one with the rifle.
Yeah, what a mistake that has been. What are some other secret locations that I can seek help of our kinds to get you out?
I only know of Gordire. I was stationed in the Odorlin Wilds. It's the only place I was allowed to understand and to know. I have been told that in every major city we have a presence.
Are you aware of a presence in this very court?
I would not doubt it, though I do not know it, for the protection of that presence.
And how do you recognize those who are like us? How do you recognize those who are not what they seem?
That is the very point of who we are. It's the very point of our deceit. If I'm not supposed to be here, I have no knowledge or ability to understand who is and isn't here. While I'm aware of certain people in Jrusar, a handful, I'm not always aware of what they've changed themselves into. I don't know anything about what they've done or what they plan to do until we meet up in Gorodaya to help each other plan and figure out what to do next.
Like Callion, right?
Ah, Callion. Yes, I think he was recently a target of Thalion, a very powerful changeling. But I don't know of his consideration. I have not, how shall we say, learned of his outcome, of what he's been doing.
Have you been working with Callion for long?
I have.
What was his goal?
His goal?
Yes. What has he acquired your services for?
He is, how shall we say, Callion is not Callion. Callion is something else entirely. What he is precisely, I do not know. All I know is he was a useful tool.
Indeed. Has there been, before I assist you, I must know, has there been anything in the past that you felt fundamentally compelled to hide from me? Something that you wouldn't tell even your closest friend? For me to help you, we must have the closest of relations.
I don't know.
Please turn
I feel like you are my closest friend, and you are my closest relation, but I don't feel that my memory of you is as old as it is new.
Hey.
I struggle to understand why we are friends, but I think we're supposed to be friends, if not more.
Do not consider those feelings. Consider the dark corners that you have hidden even from yourself. that you had always known to keep secret for the sake of your own and the greater good, for these are the corners that we must examine in order to best bring upon the future that us changelings deserve.
She eyes you for a moment. And it's at that moment the major illusion around you collapses. You're not in a chamber or a cell. You're in a confinement chamber with Regina Greencloak staring at you. All around you, bars surround both you and Regina. Beyond the bars, you can see Essek. Essek finishes the anti-magic field glyph on the chamber. You watch as the magical effect on Regina fades. You feel all the magic of your personage and your spells fade from you. Like you just feel the magic disconnect as the anti-magic glyph goes off. Essek just smiles at you. You watch as Essek shifts from being Essek and into a changeling form.
Ugh.
Yeah.
You watch as the changeling form looks at both you and Regina. Well, this is very unfortunate. We shall have to come up with a creative way to get rid of the two of you. You watch as they activate the silence glyph. You watch as they return back into Essek's form. He leans out the chamber. Guards, I have new orders for you directly from the Bright Queen. And Essek disappears around the corner. You can hear the guards and Essek talking about something. And that's where we're going to finish tonight.
No!
Oh no! Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Split the party. Of course there's a changeling in her court. Who do you think it's going to be? Someone very close to her.
You're not quite dead.
Well, we'll see. I do have a plan. I did keep in touch something. I had a feeling. I'll be betrayed. So I do have one last Hail Mary.
Ugh.
There's
Well,
as
if
long
it's
as it
not
doesn't
magical.
involve magic, I mean, you should be fine.
I hope it's not. I actually don't know how magic works.
I love it. All right, everyone. Thank you for coming out. We're good for next Sunday, everybody. Schedules are good. You guys go ahead and linger. We'll chat. Everyone else, be safe, be kind, and don't forget, play a game. Good night, everybody. See you next week.